Hello and welcome to Unreal Engine 5, Blueprint Mastery, Door Systems and Interactive Portals. Let's begin by extracting our downloaded Doors resource pack. I'm gonna right click on it and I'm gonna use WinRAR and extract to Doors resource pack. Now if you have WinZip, the process is kind of the same. You choose a destination and it extracts it. Now for me it extracted it here to the desktop that I have downloaded the file. And before we go on, let's check on Unreal Engine library on Unreal Engine tab that we have 5.4.4, which is the project version. If you are in above version, it's 5. Now, let's go to our project. I'm gonna double click and open the project. This might take a while depending on your computer speed, but we have included the derived data cache and the intermediate folder, which hosts files that make this process easy, such files as shaders that have been loaded before when we were creating the project. Now, for those who are new, let's explain what we are seeing here. First of all, this image is our viewport. We can move around by using the left mouse button and moving the mouse up, down, left, right, and using WSAD to move in world space like a video game. Q and E also elevate and de-elevate. I'm not sure that word is, but anyway, our character, our camera. Now, this, as you can see, is a little bit slow. So if I use the mouse wheel while holding right click, I can go faster with mouse wheel up, and I can go slower with mouse wheel down. This can be indicated over here by camera speed. I can also change it by changing the value here, but mouse wheel seems to be a little bit easier. Now, we won't go into further detail about many buttons. I will explain a few, but I will do when we open our map. So to do that, let's go down here, which is the content browser. And here we can see our assets, maps and sounds. These are included in our Doors resource pack. Now, for assets, we can see a few assets, but we will demonstrate them later on the correct map. On sounds, we can see some sounds that we have to use in this tutorial. And on the folder maps, we can see the pre-made maps. If we really quick go about them, let's open tutorial 2 map. It's a small room that we will use later as a transfer room. And we're gonna go to the tutorial map with no number. And here we can see our assets and a level that we will use to build our doors. Now, first thing first, let's start with continuing the explanation of what we're seeing in this screen. As we can see, it's a lot of information, but don't be scared, it's very simple things. Here we have the outliner, which, as you can see, it's pretty much made in level 1, level 2, level 3, and some extra items. These are folders that we have categorized the items that we are including in this resource pack, and on the next folders we are categorizing it based on levels that we will be creating the doors. We can also see a lighting folder which has the lighting props, and we can see some new folders over here that actually have nothing, and a folder playground that was left behind. So let's begin with explaining these empty folders. Now, when I have a folder that has something, first of all, it has an arrow, and we can see inside its contents, where these folders have nothing. These also folders have an eye next to them, which is closed. If I try to click on them, nothing happens. So these folders are kinda empty. We can delete them. We don't need them. So the next thing we need to see is our extra items folder. I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna click on the eye. Now you can see the items disappear from our view. This doesn't mean that they're not loaded in the game. If I press play, we could clearly see the items. I press play, and this is in runtime the game, and the items are there. So closing the eye over here doesn't mean that we are losing them in game. It just means that we can work without looking at them. Right now, we're gonna close the eyes of every level except level 1, because we're gonna use them as we progress the tutorial. Now, for the extra items, let's open the eye and let's see what we have here. The speed is a little bit high. Okay, I fix it with the mouse wheel, and we can see now we have a double door, and in different meshes that we can use. I'm gonna undo the changes. We have a frame, the same thing for the door. I think this is the door that moves this way, and we have a light above it, some triangles that we're gonna use for items, a saloon door that we're gonna be using for our physics door, a switch that we're gonna animate, a button that we're gonna animate, a trigger button, which is made also from two meshes as is the button, a portal, some boxes, and some other types of doors, a glass, this is a shelf. Now it's a staircase, I think that's a staircase, some walls, some floors, and this is a small demonstration of all the assets. It's separate pieces. But again, we have this on our level. Now, to continue to explain what we see over here. As we saw, the play button is used to play the game, to start whatever we have created, and escape is used to stop. Now, the next thing I want to talk about that we're going to be using is when I select anything, over here we have a details tab. So when I bring something to the world and I want to see its own details, its instance, because I can have like two floors. If I'm going to use Alt and I'm going to drag this arrow over here, so this duplicates the floor. If I use this floor and this floor, these are the same mesh, but these are instances. They have different details. In example, the location of these two blocks changes. This is Y600 and this is Y980. And if I change this scale, it changes to this single instance. So these are the details of the instance I'm selecting. There is various details based on what we have selected. So everything for details of the selected instance is over here. Now, another thing that happens in Outliner is that when I'm picking something over here, it actually selects the instance. And if it's far away or I don't know really where is the thing that I have selected here, I can press F and it will zoom in as much as possible to our mesh right now because I have selected this mesh. If I selected another actor, it will zoom into that actor. Now be careful because if I selected the sky sphere, for example, and press F, it will lead me outside the sky sphere to feel it, to have it all in the screen. Now let's go back to some item. We go inside fast. And I think we have explained a few things about what we are seeing. We are more versatile of using Unreal. And before we leave, one more thing. I'm going to go to Content Browser and I'm going to go to the Add button over here because I want to add a feature or content pack. This is a way to add the features and content packs that Unreal offers for free when we are creating a project. And the content pack, the feature I want to add right now is the third person template. So we have a character that we can move around and a few other things that we will explain to the next lesson. So for now, I'm going to press add to project. This might take a while. When it's done, it will open a window. Yep, here it is. It will open a content browser window that we don't need. We can close and we can close this. And now we can see new folders here, the characters folder, the level prototyping, and the third person folder. But we're going to explore this in the next time. Goodbye for now. See you then.